Welcome to the Straight Razor Edge Friday Special. Hey, Eric here with Adventures in Wet Shaving, and welcome back. If this is your first time here and you're interested in learning how to straight razor shave, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Then click on the bell next to it to be notified when I upload videos. That way you won't miss a thing. In tonight's show, we're doing best how to shave with a straight razor tutorial for beginners. All right, YouTuber The Discussion Room asked, maybe you can add beginner videos for teenagers who are starting to shave. And then YouTuber Kypros said, that's a great idea, adding a newbie how-to video. Now the first thing we're going to do is I fold up my towels in certain ways. And this is just kind of out of habit, but it also serves as a good way to function to clean off the razor and stuff like that. So this one I fold in thirds, and now this one I fold in thirds as well. Okay, and then I'm going to lay that here, this one here, and next we're going to look at a very important part of this, which is beard mapping. So in my beard, I kind of let it grow out a little bit so it'd be easier to see. You know, here it pretty much straight down, right? Here it kind of hooks like this, right? And the way you can tell this is you just rub your finger over it one way and then go the other way, and you can find out which way it's growing, all right? And then here you can see what's going on with that, pretty much straight down. Then over here, the same kind of thing as what's going on with this cheek, right? But this is maybe a little bit more just back towards the back part of that jaw. And then, you know, the chin, you know, you can see how this is pretty much straight down here. And then this section straight, a little bit here going out. Then my neck, if you look, see, it is kind of hooking back and across this way here. And on this side, it's a little different angle, right? But still the same kind of thing. And my jawline is more or less going that way. Right through here, pretty much straight down till you get down here. And it's very important to know this. That way you'll know how to deal with your beard and what's going on with it. All right. So now we have that. And the next thing I would say is you need a good soap. So now what I'm going to be using tonight is Stubble Trubble. And this is Praying Mint-IS. And this is with menthol as well. This is a marvelous, like gardenia, peppermint. It's just very fresh. And with that menthol, it's nice during the summer. It really is. And this is, by the way, 100% vegan soap as well. So if that matters to you, there you go. Now for a brush, you don't have to spend a lot of money on a good brush. Okay? What I did is I got this Omega 10098. This is boar brush. It's a big honking brush, but it's good. It's really good. So I would say that would be a great place to start. Okay. Now for a good lather though, this brush that you get, no matter what it is, I don't care what kind of hair. Okay, maybe synthetic's different. I've just never used them, so I don't know. But now for this brush and any natural hair brush, they do have to be soaking in water, just like any other hair. That way they won't be brittle, okay? And soak it, but only soak it from about here down. Don't ever soak the knot. That's not good. That'll mess up that brush pretty quick. And you break in that brush. You're not going to get a really good lather till you've used it for a while and really broken it in. Okay? Now, razors. We have, you know, you're probably are using a cartridge razor. You might be using a DE razor, all right? And then for the razors we're going to be looking at tonight, okay, this is a Parker, and this is a SRB. So this is a Shavette. This takes half of a double-edged blade, and what I've got in there right now is a sharp blade, okay? And now these, you just swap out the blades. You never have to strop them, and they're always sharp, and they're like machine sharp. So now, in my opinion, the Shavettes, because they are machine sharp, they're one of the kind of cons on that is they are a little bit more aggressive, okay? And I would say, in my personal opinion, that straight razors, believe it or not, are milder just because of the machine finish on this blade. All right. Now, the next razor up is my Thiers Issard, and this is a 69. This is a 6/8 blade. All right, this is new old stock, and it is quarter hollow. Just brilliant, brilliant razor. I'm going to say out of the late 1960s, early 1970s. But now, this would be a good size to start out with, a 6/8, all right? Because it's really maneuverable. All right, now, next up, this is my ZY Grandslam, okay? Now, this is a Chinese razor, real wood scales, metal spacer. It is hollow ground, and that's probably a half hollow. And this guy is inexpensive, and you can actually get it straight from China, and it would be shave ready, all right? At least to a certain degree, all right? And now this one, this is a 13/16 blade. So now if I was to compare these two, so you could look at it, right? You see the difference? Okay, now the next step from here would be something like this. Now this is my Wade & Butcher for gentleman's use. Now this is out of probably 1840 to 1860. It is a Wedge, and this is a 15/16 smiling blade. Just a beautiful shaver. But now it is larger, and let's just look at that again with that same 6/8 blade, okay? And you get a really good idea, right, of the difference here. That blade is a lot bigger than this one. I personally like big blades, but for a beginner, the 6/8 is probably a good choice, or the 13/16 I think would be a fair choice. All right, now next up, we are going to, we've now mapped our beard, we've talked about some razors. Now I'm going to shave with everything but the cartridge razor and the DE, all right? Because you already have those if you're shaving now. Next, pre-shave. Now, what I always do is I take a shower before I shave. And, if you can't take a shower, what I would do is I just wash that beard off really good and, make sure and keep it wet. Because what happens is your hair in your beard is going to have the same tensile strength dry as copper wire, all right? But if you can keep it moisturized, then you're in great shape. Now, the other thing you could do is add some kind of a pre-shave cream, all right? I'm not going to tonight, and you may or may not need to or want to, for that matter. Now, what I normally do, though, is I've got the brush soaking, right? And then I also had the puck blooming. And what that means is it's underwater. And that was hot water when I started. Now I'm going to pour that bloom water off, okay? And we're going to put that on as a pre-shave because it works. And you're trying to hydrate that beard, and that's what really matters. So go ahead and hydrate that beard with that bloom water. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to just clean those hands off. And we are going to get most of that water out of that brush. Okay. Next, I am going to load up this brush. And what I do is I just swirl it around. Okay. And you swirl it around until you get enough on there. And by enough, I mean whatever you think is enough, and then add some more, okay? It's just better to have more, all right? Now, tell me, how you doing? It is Friday. You know, we are right on the weekend. Oh, how wonderful. And hopefully you're doing well, having good shaves, maybe even great shaves, right? That would be awesome. All right, and now, here, look at this. Okay, that is excellent. That is more than enough. All right, and now what I always do, because I make normally more of a mess than this, okay? So I just go ahead and clean out the inside, I clean out around the outside, and then I take that as well and just put it on. Might as well. It's not going to hurt anything. And the more soap you have, the better, in my opinion. Next, there it is. Isn't that beautiful? We're going to get our lather on. All right. And now you could bowl lather. I personally face lather. For me, I like the face feel. Okay, and that's also why I use boar brush. It is a little stiffer, and I can really work this into those whiskers. And for me, it really helps. Okay, and now look at that. Look at that. All right, so again, fantastic soap. This is vegan soap, but if I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't know. All right, and look at that. Look at that beautiful sheen. I don't know if it's coming across on camera as well as it is here in person, but there you go. Now, next up, what we're going to do, I'm going to start with the 6/8, all right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shave, but now when you're beginning, okay, I want you to section your face off, okay? And just do little bits of it at a time, all right? So important, stretch. So I'm going to do that and see how that stretches. And then I'm going to lay that blade like this, flat, and then I'm going to cock it up like that, right? Where there is about the same width as the spine off my skin. So we're going to go flat, then we're going to cock it up like that, see? And now I want you to go straight down with it. All right, now that's it. Day one. Day one, I just want you to do that. And look at that. I mean, cleared out those whiskers, no big deal. Done. And you're done. Okay? Next, what I would do to clean it up is you only put this part of the razor into the water from like here down. Okay? Never put the pin or the pivot in the water. Don't get the handles in the water, because water is our enemy. All right, so I do that, and then I wipe it off on that towel. Good to go. All right, next, I want you to do that for 5 days in a row. Okay, when you're shaving 4 or 5 shaves, that's what I want you to do. All right, and that'll be good for you. Next, if you really want to go with a Shavette and be able to change the blades, you don't want to worry about stropping or any of that, okay? Then, and what I do with my blades is I strop them all 40 to 60 times, 40, 60 laps, okay? And that's what I do. Now, with this, you wouldn't have to, okay? So see, with this, what I do, I do basically the same thing. You go flat and then cock it up. Now, you could get away with more with this, but I'm telling you, don't. If you do, that's going to be a bad habit if you transition from this into a straight razor. So what I do is I keep that same like spine width. And see, I got little hollows here. So I just puff out my cheek and try to flatten everything out. All right, so there's that one. And now this would be fine if you want to go that way. However, I think it's more aggressive actually than a straight razor, simply because it's a machine edge. All right. So now let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to now be using, now that actually what we just did, that would be week 2. Okay, that's all you do, week 2. And you do that with both of those would be with your dominant hand. Now, what I'm going to do is using this ZY Grandslam, which is now bigger, right? Bigger than the straight razor I was using. See it? It is bigger. Now, what I'm going to do with this one is I am going to switch hands. I'm going to be using my left hand, my non-dominant hand. And, you know, for me, I got to kind of clean off some speed bumps. And if you have them, you should do it too. All right. And now we're going to do exactly the same thing with this, but with our left hand. Now, what I normally do is I have 2 fingers in the front of the handle, 2 in the back. All right. And my thumb on the bottom. That seems to work the best for me. Now, I have seen people do that, and I've seen people do something like that, all right? But middle of the road, good for me. 2 fingers in the front, 2 in the back, thumb down here, all right? And that gives me the most control. So now, again, we're going to stretch. We're going to pull that up, see? And I'm going to puff out that cheek. All right, and then I'm going to move over so I can see what I'm doing. All right, now from there, we can take this and we can, this would be, this part and this part could be, you know, week 1, week 2, definitely week 1, week 2. This could be part of week 2, But since it's your other hand, you may want to actually go to week 3 on that. All right. Now, again, I just cleaned off this blade, and I only got it wet from here down. I didn't get the hinge pin. None of this wet. The handle's not wet. All right. Because water's our enemy. Now I'm gonna go with the grain with this one as well. And I want you to look at this spine. That's actually either equal to or less than a spine width, okay? Now, what we're going to do from here, okay, is now week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, you are getting really comfortable at this point, okay? Now, if, you're doing this, right? Doing week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then if you have a DE razor, you're going to finish off with that because that's what you're used to, right? Or if you have a multi-blade cartridge razor, you're going to finish off with that because you're used to that. Do that, okay? You don't have to do your whole face. You can work into it. Now, this, my Wade and Butcher, okay? And remember, it's bigger, right? So it is much bigger than this because this is 6/8, this is a 15/16, all right? Now, for my neck, I am going to go across the grain mainly, all right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave all of this for last because this is more intricate, all right? Your cheeks, your neck should be a little bit easier. Now for me, I look up and you'll notice I blow my cheeks out or I'll smile, whatever works best for me. And you should do whatever works best for you, okay? So let's get to it. Here we go. We're going to lay that blade down there on that neck, right? And now here with this blade, the spine could almost be touching your neck or even touching, all right? Because you don't want a whole lot of angle here. Okay, so you could either do that, which is going up, and it depends on how your hair grows, or what you could do is really more what I normally do, which is I will stretch and hold that, and then I will be taking that first pass going down, okay, because it's still on my neck going to be across the grain, but that works pretty well for me, okay, and then I will be going like this. And see, this way's with the grain, this way's across the grain. And now notice the spine and how much room there is. Now this is going to be straight down. This is sideways. All right. And now what we're doing with this section in here, whatever's easy is going to be now that next week, okay? And then we'll finish off with whatever we're used to shaving with. And again, I just got from here wet down. Didn't get the hinge pin wet, didn't get the handle wet. All of that's still good, okay? Now, let's switch back to the 13/16, and this is the ZY Grandslam. Now, this is brilliant because these are really inexpensive, and it'd be a good starter razor, okay? Now, I'm going to stretch, pull that up, and see how that's right at my jawline, and then I pull it up, and it's over my jawline. Okay, like that. All right, and now there you go. That is pretty much set. All right, now we will do my mustache area next. And what I normally do is I would start with this with my dominant hand. Like that. All right. And then take it from there. I would switch hands and do the other side. All right. Now, here's the trick. All of this is steps. So you're going to section off your face to get the best shave based on how your hair grows, okay? And now, for me, you know, this would probably be enough for me to go to work. It's just a single pass shave. Now here, I'm going to work on that section right there, okay? Because it's straight, and then I got some scars here down in the groove, and then we're going to switch it up. All right. Now for me, looks like I maybe hit a little bump there. For me, I got another one there. What I'm going to do is on that chin, just because, you know, I really got a hook here. I'm going to go across, but now you have to figure out how it works best for you. All right, there we go. Now I get that razor cleaned off. And now normally what I would do is just set it down like that. And now I'm going to wash this off. And we're going to see how we did. And, you know, that is, yeah, that's a passable shave. Okay, so I could go to work like this. Now, if you are a teenager and young, definitely that's probably enough, okay? And if you have quite the beard, you probably have to do more than that, all right? But now here's the trick. That would be enough for, you know, the first pass. And if you need to do some cleanup, go with the DE, right? Go with the DE, go with the multi-blade cartridge, clean it up, and then just keep getting used to it, all right? So don't rush it. Practice, 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 all right? That is the key. And switch hands, that's good too, because you'll be able to get to areas of your face with each hand in different positions than you could if you just used one hand, all right? Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate you for stopping by for this shave. Click right up here to see a complete straight razor shave from pre-shave to post-shave, the whole routine, and you can see pass 2 and my half pass as well, all right? Again, thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate you. Click right over here to see my latest video. Click down here on a video specially picked out for you. Click over here on me, subscribe, like, comment, share this video with your friends. Have a great shave and a good day, and I will see you next time on Adventures in Wet Shaving.